And who is that?
Terence Crawford, that's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason. You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to fight the best.
Floyd Mayweather has sent out a warning to Terence Crawford amid the heated debates over who would win between them. His message was sharp and deliberate, a caution against chasing something that may never exist. Floyd made it clear that Crawford could be chasing a ghost because the Mayweather who ruled boxing for decades walked away on his own terms, unbeaten, untouchable, and unwilling to let anyone rewrite the story he already finished.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Floyd told Stephen A. Smith that boxing has never just been about who looks stronger right now. It's about who owned the stage when the spotlight was brightest. And in Floyd's eyes, Crawford asking for this fight in his mid-30s is simply too late. The moment that could have shattered records and drawn the world's attention has already passed, and Mayweather made sure it passed on his terms.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
That moment unfolded in the middle of a fiery debate on Stephen A. Smith's platform, where Mayweather and Crawford faced off in a rare, tense exchange the boxing world couldn't look away from. Floyd never raised his voice, but every word carried weight. He looked straight at Crawford and made it clear, "Win all you want. Beat every fighter I never touched. It still won't rewrite my history." In that one line, Mayweather managed to keep the spotlight firmly on his own era, while reminding Crawford, almost taunting him, that he came to the dance just a little too late.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter lose, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum. I knew he was overrated. Oh, y'all hyped him up, and now they gotta hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in their face.
But this debate isn't just two legends trading words. It's become a fault line running through the entire sport. Fans, fighters, analysts, everyone is taking sides. Even Ryan Garcia couldn't resist jumping in, and true to form, he didn't hold back. On Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring, when ex-NFL star LaShawn McCoy praised Floyd as the man who changed the game, Garcia cut him off cold, in a bad way. For Garcia, Mayweather wasn't just a master inside the ropes, he was a master of timing. He accused Floyd of waiting out names like Pacquiao and Cotto, fighting them after the boiling point of their prime. He never fought nobody really in their prime after junior lightweight. Garcia argued, calling Floyd's undefeated record less about perfect fighting and more about perfect matchmaking. And in his eyes, that's where boxing lost its way, when protecting the zero on your record started mattering more than chasing the most dangerous fights.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
And that's exactly where Max Kellerman slid into the conversation, adding his trademark precision. He broke it down with a calm but cutting take. Floyd, no doubt, has the deeper resume, packed with big names. But once he left lightweight, everyone knew he started picking his spots, deciding when to fight guys rather than simply fighting them. That memory lingers. Crawford, on the other hand, even if his resume isn't stacked the same way, has always carried himself differently. We've watched him openly want smoke with everyone, anytime, no hesitation. And Kellerman argued that alone shifts how people view him, because in boxing, sometimes it's not just about who you fought, but whether fans believe you were truly willing to fight them all.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him. And Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing.
And that's where the debate cuts deepest. Resume versus intent. On paper, Mayweather's resume is unmatched, stacked with giants like De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Cotto, Hatton, Marquez, Mosley, Gatti, Corrales, and more. But critics like Garcia and Kellerman keep circling back to the same word: timing. Pacquiao wasn't the same by 2015. Mosley was 38 and rusty from a long layoff. Cotto had already absorbed years of brutal punishment. And Canelo? Just 23, drained by a catchweight clause. Yes, Floyd won every single one of those fights. But to his critics, the shadow of when lingers louder than the who, leaving an asterisk they refuse to erase.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
On the flip side, Crawford's resume may not be as star-studded, but the spirit behind it feels different. Timing never dictated his choices. He took on Sean Porter when Porter was still a problem for anyone. At 35, he dismantled Errol Spence in a way nobody thought possible. And now, he's stunned the sport by conquering Canelo Alvarez up at super middleweight. Crawford's struggle wasn't about ducking fights. It was about being ducked. For years at Top Rank, he was the high-risk, low-reward opponent that promoters and networks kept at arm's length. By the time he finally got his shot against Spence, he was already well into his 30s, carrying the weight of battles he'd been chasing for a decade.
We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed?
Now at 38, Crawford stands unbeaten at 42-0, a three-division undisputed champion with scalps like Gamboa, Postal, Jeff Horn, Porter, Spence, and now Alvarez. But when the numbers get stacked side by side, Floyd's 50 still looms larger. 8 more wins may not sound like much, but in the unforgiving math of legacy, every digit matters. Yet Crawford holds a card Floyd never dared to play, pushing into a 6th weight class. If he drops to middleweight and snatches a belt, he'll have crossed a line Mayweather never touched. Floyd stopped at 154, carving history but never chasing 6 divisions. Crawford's relentless hunger to keep testing himself, to chase mountains most fighters wouldn't even look at, could be the very thing that tilts the legacy debate in his favor.
Floyd had a lot of craft that mimicked some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
Ooh.
The timing of their eras makes the debate even more intriguing. Crawford claimed his first world title in 2014, just a year before Floyd closed his legendary run by beating Pacquiao and then Andre Berto. The overlap was brief, but real. If Mayweather had stayed longer, the fight could have happened. But by then, Floyd was guarding his legacy, not chasing new risks. And that's the heart of what he told Stephen A. Smith. Don't ask me now. If it was ever going to happen, it would have been when the spotlight was brightest and the money was at its peak. That moment passed, and so did the what-ifs. Crawford's triumphs today don't rewind history, and they don't drag Mayweather back into a ring he's already left behind.
Funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah,
there's an OG
somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer it, right?
Yeah, you gotta. There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just
yeah.
believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
That doesn't stop fans from dreaming about a head-to-head. At 147, Mayweather was a defensive wizard. nearly untouchable, breaking opponents down piece by piece over 12 rounds. He ruled welterweight for a decade, going 12-0 between ages 28 and 38. Crawford at 147 was cut from a different cloth. Explosive, mean, a switch hitter who could finish fights violently. In just 5 years, he went 8-0, dismantling most of his opponents with precision and power. He's taller, longer, and more versatile, able to flip stances and styles in ways Mayweather never had to.
Were you surprised that, Crawford wasn't running from him? He was, he was very confident that he could stand there and trade, a lot of times with Canelo.
Crawford fought a brilliant fight. He fought a brilliant fight. He stayed at the right range. He didn't engage with Canelo when Canelo was trying to get him to engage with him. And he took control of the fight. He did what he wanted to do.
In a mythical matchup, Crawford's size and relentless aggression would have pushed Floyd's defense into uncharted territory. Some fans even compare it to the Paul Williams debate, another tall, high-volume welterweight many thought Floyd avoided because of the stylistic nightmare. Now add Crawford's adaptability, his switch-hitting skills, and that punishing southpaw power, and suddenly the question becomes real. Would Mayweather have finally had to sweat to protect that perfect zero?
Since Bud's so strong, that's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol historically might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, Crawford might have surpassed TBE.
But Mayweather's defenders are quick to remind everyone that his style was built to smother aggression. He wasn't just slick and fast, he was surgical. He didn't need to throw 70 punches around when 25 precise shots and 50 slips could win the fight. Against Crawford, who thrives on shifting gears mid-fight, Floyd might have found ways to frustrate him, just like he neutralized Canelo in 2013 or drowned out Ricky Hatton's pressure back in 2007. And then there's the stage factor. Floyd wasn't just a fighter, he was the event itself, the pay-per-view king who could freeze entire weekends. Crawford, for all his brilliance, never held that kind of command, not even after dismantling Spence and shocking Canelo. Skill, timing, power, and presence, it all collides in this debate. But if these two ever touched gloves, who do you think walks away with the crown? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.